of the sovereign Lord has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from the darkness for the prisoners. Freedom from sin, death, the power of the devil, addictions, chains that bind, past hurts and sins, and the yoke of slavery. John 8:36. For if the Son sets you free, you are free indeed. For where the Lord is the Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And because you belong to Him, the power of the life-giving Spirit has freed you from the power of sin that leads to death. For you have been called to live in freedom, my brothers and sisters. But don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. The Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. As free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as servants of God. So Christ has truly set us free. Now make sure that you stay free and don't get tied up again in slavery to the law. For the Lord is the Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He's the only way to salvation. He's the only way to knowing our Father in heaven. He is the truth. If you seek the truth, you will eventually find Jesus Christ. Once you find that truth, it will change you. And it will set you free. Free from the hurt, the pain, sin, and death, addictions, chains that have bound you, and this yoke of slavery that we all were born into this physical realm that is run by the enemy. Remember that when the enemy was tempting Jesus, he took him out to the top of a mountain and showed him all the worldly kingdoms and said, if you just bow down and worship me, I will make you ruler over all these things. Now, at that moment, Jesus could have accepted the enemy's offer and had power, limited power in this system. But he knew why he was here. He knew what the Father had sent him here to do. And by overcoming the world and overcoming Satan, and by his resurrection, after he was so brutally tortured and murdered, he broke the chains of death. He broke the enemy's grip. He was the firstborn of many brothers and sisters. He's made a way for us to go to the Father directly, without an intermediary, and in spite of our physical corruption and flesh. And it's important to understand that he is the way, he is the truth, but he's also the life. All things were created for him and by him and through him. All life itself was created for him and by him and through him. Whereas the enemy, he's the thief. He comes only to steal and kill and destroy. Christ came that we may have life and have it abundantly. That's excerpted from John chapter 10, verse 10. In Psalm 118, verse 5, it says, "Out of my distress I call the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free." So true freedom, my friends, is through Christ, Christ alone. If you seek the truth, it will be added to you, and all of these things will begin to make sense. And the truth is Jesus Christ. So if you've been searching, if you have questions, you wonder what is wrong with this world, why is everything so corrupt? Is this all there is? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Is this all there is? Well, I'm here to tell you, no, this is not all there is. There's so much more. And I encourage you to cry out to the Father. Cry out to Jesus. And ask them to lead you to the truth, to show you who Christ is. Ask for the Holy Spirit to guide you and lead you to truth. Because if you ask for these things, He will answer you and He will provide you with what you're seeking. Out of my distress, I call the Lord, and He answered me, and He set me free.